Hello, good morning. And again, I do apologize for the inconvenience. Everyone is here who are ready to apply for financial aid. And I know you need to know a lot about what is financial aid and how can it benefit you. I know there's a short period of time that you have to use this hallway, so I'm going to get right to it. What you need to know about financial aid. Sorry about that again. All right, financial aid consists of funds provided to students and families to help pay for post-secondary education. The types of financial aid that's available to you are scholarships, grants, and loans. Scholarships and grants are money that do not have to be paid back. This is once you apply, you do not have to repay it. It's awarded on a basis of financial need, meaning that depending on your income, you qualify for both the state and federal financial aid. Also, federally funded loans. Loans are money students and parents can borrow to help pay for college. Now, it's federally funded, but you have to repay under loans usually 6 months after you graduate, or if there's an interruption in attendance. The types of financial aid are federal, which is Pell. When you hear the word Pell, usually we use that the acronym Pell, meaning that it's for federal aid. We also have TAP, which is the state aid, that at a community college you qualify for 6 semesters of state aid, which is TAP, and you get an additional 2 at a senior college. Now, if you did not use all your TAP at the community college, you can use the additional at the senior college for a total of 8 semesters of TAP. Pell is aid awarded primarily on the basis of financial need and enrollment status, meaning if you're coming in full-time, you qualify for the full aid. It's adjusted according to the number of credits that you're taking. If, let's say, you're coming in part-time or 3/4 time, it's adjusted according to the number of credits that you're taking. You must apply every academic year using the free application for federal student aid. The academic year starts from August, usually like when you let's say in high school, the year starts sometime in August, so it's not like in January to December. It's from August to the following year, which is around, say, July, August, somewhere around there. TAP is a tuition assistance program. You must be enrolled at least 12 credits in real or equated credits in order to qualify for the TAP. There's a difference. With the federal aid, you can come in full-time or part-time, but with the TAP, you must be full-time in order to qualify for that for the state aid. And like I said, it's limited to 8 semesters, 6 at a community college. You must be and you must be a New York State resident. Now I'm going to just bear with me 1 minute. If you are living here, you the student is living here in New York State, and your parents is living here in New York State, you can qualify for TAP, which is state aid. Now, if you're living here in New York State and you indicated that your parents are living in, say, Ohio or living somewhere else, you will not qualify for TAP. There's a slight difference. They changed the requirements a little in, I think it's 2011-12. So just remember, if you see that sometimes you do not qualify for state aid, which is a TAP, that's because even though you're living here, you the student is living here in New York State, and your parents is living in another country or in another state, you will not qualify for TAP. And like I said, you must be living in New York State for at least a year in order to qualify. And the award is based on both merit and on need, meaning you must have a 2.0 in order to qualify for the TAP and meet academic need. The federal direct loan is subsidized, which means you must demonstrate need. U.S. Department of Education will pay for subsidized, and the interest with the subsidized, the interest occurs while you're in school. With the unsubsidized, it's not based on need. Anyone can apply for the unsubsidized student loan, and almost everyone would qualify. The interest on direct loan is dispersed sometime after July 1st, and the interest rate right now, if you decide, if you're coming in September, it will be 6.8% if you need to borrow. Repayment begins 6 months after the grace period, which I explained to you before, or graduation or interruption in attendance. The maximum repayment period is between 10 and 30 years, which is very good. You'll have time get your everything together so you can qualify for the aid. The deadline for entering freshmen, which I'm speaking to you, is June 1st, 2013. So most of you who are planning on coming in September, you have until June 1st, 2013. If you need help applying for the financial aid, we have workshops available that you can come to, and we will help you file for the financial aid. Even if, usually, sometimes if you file at home and you make certain errors, that's okay. We are available to help you during the workshop in which to correct any problems that you have filing for financial aid. Okay, now to file for financial aid, you must apply for a PIN. If you are dependent, meaning you're under the age of 24, you're not married, you do not have any kids, meaning that you'll have to apply for a PIN number. Now, if you're under the age of 24, we need your PIN number and one of your parents. It can be either mother or father, but one of your parents. And if you notice, the PIN, the website is www.pined.gov, and it allows you to sign in electronically. Usually, we do not have any paper applications anymore. Everything is done on file. If for any particular reason you do not have or you did not create a PIN number, if you notice when you're filing for financial aid, it will, at the bottom it will tell you have other options, which means you can submit it without a PIN number, and later on they will ask you to sign a form so that you can so the signature, so everything can be processed for both parent and student. And like I said, if you notice here, I said it's not required, but it speeds up the processing. So I would suggest that you get the PIN number, but if you don't, you have other options in which you can submit it without the signature and without the PIN. Okay, now I'm going to show you what the financial aid application look like. And if you notice, now since you're a new student, what you'll have to do, you'll have to log in here where it says start a new FAFSA. Once you start the new FAFSA, you indicate you have to enter your name, social security number. These are information that only you would be able to complete. Different information concerning yourself and your parent and your address, etc. Okay, if on this section it says school selection, I'm assuming that some of you graduated with a high school diploma either in your country or some of you here, or you had a GED. If you had a GED, you'll have to, or you had a in another country, you'll have to complete this. But then it will tell you that it will tell you about the different where if you it indicate foreign, etc. With this section, ooh, I would suggest that you leave this section. I have to find out a little bit more about this, because I'm thinking that if you graduated at in a foreign country, you will have to indicate foreign and just leave it alone. Okay, when you get to the end. Okay, now usually with your, if you're a dependent and you have to complete the application for parent, we no longer accept paper, the paper application. What you'll have to do is, most students will have, if they have to use their parents' income tax, they'll have to link to the IRS. We are assuming that by now, everyone, or most students and parents already filed their income taxes, and they can automatically link to the IRS, which will, once you link to the IRS, all the information would automatically download to your application. These are, I'm just showing you here, these are just questions that they're asking, like your education credits, etc. If you do not know, just leave it blank. We can always correct it for you. Okay, now here's where I indicated that you do not have, it's your choice. Either you can get a PIN number, or you can indicate, it says here, it says here, sign electronically, print the signature page, or you can submit without a signature. You have three options, because usually some students do not like to use the PIN numbers, but if you have PIN numbers, automatically it will be processed much faster. Avoid being charged. Once you get, there's two websites. One is www.fafsa.gov, and then there's another website that looks identical, which is www.fafsa.com. Disregard the .com, because that's a private firm that charges students for filing for financial aid. Financial aid is absolutely free. If any one of you get on that website, please get off of the website and try and delete your information and get back to the .gov, because filing for financial aid is completely free. Now, once you complete the financial aid application, your information is automatically generated to the tab. All your information is on there. Once you file for the financial application, it will automatically, at the end of filing for financial aid, you can just click this link, which will allow you to just file for the tab, which is a state aid. Usually, now, if you did not click on to that link after you completed the financial aid, usually you'll have to wait 3 to 4 days in order to apply for the state aid, which is the tab. Now, I would like, can you take these two codes down? To apply for federal aid, usually they'll ask you for the code. It's 002697 once you apply for the financial aid. And once you apply for, if you did not link to the state aid and you have to wait the 3 or 4 days, the code for TAP is 1407. Oh, I think I got to the end. Okay, any questions?